Hello everyone, this is Kira, and today I want to update my tier list for tanks after we did the whole circle of the keys, after we got some nerfs and some buffs for the tank classes. And as you can see right now, we see my previous previous tier list of the tanks, and after this, Warrior got some nerfs, Brewmaster got some buffs, Paladin didn't change anything, Guard and Druid a little bit buffs, etc., etc. I will not be talking much about F tier that I rated. I don't think anything changed towards Blood Decay and towards Guardian Druid. I think Guardian Druid got slightly single target damage increase because of the Star Surge buff from the tier set, but at the same time, Star Surge cannot reset your Lunar Beam anymore. And Blood Decay is just like Blood Decay. I don't know if I should say like a lot of things about this class. In my opinion, this class is just not really balanced for keys. At the same time, it is a very, very good tank for the raid because of the grapes, etc., etc. Also, no raid buff. AMZ is very long right now. No Abomblame. In general, pretty squishy versus one shots, and being 10k versus one shot, it is very, very high rated thing for keys. Because if key will be going higher and higher, if you have a lot of mitigation, you will not really feel it. But if you are like Blood Decay, when you are soaking everything into the face and after trying to heal yourself, it is more noticeable. And the Guardian Druid, it's kind of the same. You are like, you have Iron Fur all the time, you have like defensives, right? But at the same time, you are leeching yourself a lot and you have a lot of self-healing, and at some point and certain key levels, in my opinion, you will just not be able to heal yourself good enough. At the same time, single target is very low, and single target is like very, very important thing, right? So yeah, I think we are done with these tanks, and let's go towards 4 other tanks. In my opinion, these tanks are very, very balanced, and people who are asking what to play, I think it is maybe first season when it is very, very hard to say what tank gonna be meta. Because at the end of the previous season, we saw that people already playing not only VDH, people already playing like Prot Warrior, like Brewmaster tank, and getting also 4K score. So I think this season people stop thinking towards like one tank and they're thinking more towards like few tanks. And I would say that this season the tank balance is very, very good, and 4 tanks can be potentially meta. Like some tanks are good in like one key, like other tanks good in other key. Like one tank is bringing out of defensive, other tank is bringing out of fertility. You know, it's like very, very hard to rate. Depends on your comp, depends on like key maybe, etc., etc. But yeah, we are focusing to choose one tank, right? To play only one tank. To for retail, we're not talking about like MDI, where you'll be able to swap tanks, swap comps, and all of them will have full base gear. If we're talking about one tank, it is like pretty hard to choose one, because as I said, all tanks are very, very close to each other. We got some Colossus Prot Warrior nerfs. I would say the only thing that I would change towards the Prot Warrior, it is spec to other hero tree, the Mountain 10. In my opinion, this hero tree is even better. It is, first of all, better aggro-wise, because your clap is more often. Also, you can clap few times on pull. You can press like clap, avatar, clap. Also, the only rage spanner that you are pressing, it is your Ignore Pain. And this is like very, very good, because this gives you like extra defensives, because you are not, same as Colossus, you are not like trying to min-max damage, trying to press revenge as much as possible instead of Ignore Pain, like losing defensive value to gain damage value, to reset Colossus like earlier and all this. Here you don't care about anything, you don't have series, you're just like clapping all the time, doing like a lot of single target damage because of the tier set buff by 750% or 725%, I think. Single target is very, very high. I would say that maybe even the highest from all the tanks are kind of equal to Brewmaster. The only bad part is that you are not bringing anything to your group, kinda, because you only have Rally, and that's kinda it. But at the same time, your buff is very, very strong, the attack power buff. I would rate this buff stronger than, let's say, Brewmaster buff, right? Because Brewmaster is given a 5% physical damage only, and if you're playing with some classes, let's say Frost Decay, right? Frost Decay is not doing physical damage. He's doing just like melee damage, and he will get buffed from Prot Warrior, but at the same time, he will not get buffed from Brewmaster. So at this point, it makes more sense to play with Prot Warrior. Also, Prot Warrior is bringing a lot of group CCs, right? You have single target stun, the bolt. Also you have the shield charge, also single target stun. Also you have shockwave. Your shockwave is not knocking up anymore because it was only Colossus Hero 3 talent, but at the same time it's still something, and the CD is not that long, right? It's around like 25 seconds, I think. And on top of this, you have AoE silence with 1.5 minutes CD for 6 seconds. So it is better than even DH's silence, like second wise, but you need to aim it to press it on top of the cast, right? Which is a little bit worse. Defensively, I think probably one of the best tanks. In most of the cases, we're not talking about like holes where a lot of blades and you need to kite a lot. But yeah, in general, I think one of the best tanks in my opinion, and I really believe in this tank. After this, we have Brewmaster. Brewmaster, I think you are not gonna play Shadowpan anymore. You will be playing the Harmony because the tiers that got buffed. You're doing more single target. You're doing more damage on the low target count pools. Also better defensively because in Shadowpan you're getting like defensive passively, right? Like 10% damage reduction all the time, let's say. If we're talking about the Harmony, you're getting second stack of your brew, like your Celestial Brew, right? Which is like very, very good defensive for high keys. And but the bad part is that we got 3% physical nerf, right? Buff. And also like not that easy to form the good setup around the Brewmaster, because you kind of want to play the comp with Restor Shami, with Cat, with like Hunter, Warrior, probably Arms, and Rock or something like that. So it's like not that many classes that are doing only physical damage, and that's why I think Warrior is a little bit better, because you can just do more comps. And also one more thing, that Brewmaster, in my opinion, like healer need to help Brewmaster more defensively and heal him more and overheal him more than Prot Warrior. And also from what I heard, that to play good with Brewmaster, you need to do quite a lot of tries if we're talking about the highest keys, because everything need to be scripted and everything need to be figured out. While I think for Prot Warrior, you don't really do stuff like this. Like I think you're just like losing less time to prep into the key, you know, to prep for the key. About CC wise, you know, like healing wise for the group, you're not bringing anything. Only like Vivify can heal a little bit, and that's kind of it. Towards the CC, like you have Incap, you have Stun, and you have Ring of Peace. Like not that good, right? Counting that Ring of Peace, mostly you want to press for yourself, just to like reset stacks, to kite something when you don't have like your Purify brews to like reset stack a little bit, etc., etc. After this, we're coming to VDH, the tank that was meta 70% of the time, as people are saying, which I think is not true. And later you will see the Google document that I made. But yeah, VDH, I think, is doing very, very low damage, probably season 2 damage, in my opinion. Single target low, AoE low, aggro, not the best. Like everything is kind of low, even though everyone already know how to play DH and how to play with DH. I think it might be not the highest rated tank for season 3, in my opinion. Because also right now, not all the classes are doing magic damage as it was before, right? For example, right now you're playing with Marksman Hunter. Maybe later it will be something that is doing like physical damage also, or some melee class, right? Also, it's 3% damage buff. I don't know, hard to say. I think you will need to pull a lot to compensate your own damage, while you can just take Prot Warrior or like Prot Paladin, you know, and pull less and be faster and be less stress, have like less stress in the dungeon. I would say that dungeon is very, very low, and I think they should do something about it. Like they should pop up some like Immolation Aura damage or like Soul Cliff damage or something, some AoE spells, because right now it's looking a little bit too low and pretty tragic. And the fourth tank is the favorite Yoda's tank, the tank that he was rating the highest, Prot Paladin. I will be honest, I didn't really believe in Prot Paladin. In my opinion, this tank is kind of that for high keys, because he's like very, very squishy. At the same time, we were scaled to 710, and on Prot Paladin I was doing the same key levels as on any other tank, and the amount of interrupts and CCs that Paladin is bringing, like mainly interrupts, right? I was doing like 80, 90, 100 interrupts per dungeon. On top of this, I was silencing mobs for very, very big amount also. So I would say like 150 interrupts, maybe 140, right? I don't know. Whenever I was logging Paladin, we were insta time in the key. Was it easy to live on Paladin? I would not say so. It was not that easy. Was it possible? I think it was possible. Will it be like super easy for packs? Same as like Prot Warrior, you know, when you're just like login and insta one shot and key? I don't think so. I think it'll be mostly like Brewmaster, where you will need to do few tries to figure out everything, to like assign timings, you know, how to live, when to press what, make like the router out your cities. Like anyway, is it possible to play Prot Paladin and tank the highest keys? Yes. I think same as Brewmaster, it will need a lot of communication around your healer, you know, when you need extra healing, etc., etc. Is Paladin squishy versus one shots? Can it randomly get one shot? I think yes. Relying on parry a lot, you know, you have like 50% parry and you're relying on it, same as on VDH. But anyway, I think it is possible. But you're bringing a lot to the group, not buff wise, but 3% defensive aura. Also, you're given like Holy Bulwark, Lesser Bulwark. Whoever is getting your Sacred Weapon getting 1% DR. Also, Sag, Bob, Spell, Bob, you know, off healing, Glaive of Hands, a lot of interrupts. Also, for you, you can, like, as yourself, you can reset. Let's say very, very good for holes, right? Because Prot Warrior is absolutely trash in holes, in my opinion, due to those dogs, wolves, or like whatever, bears, because they're putting a lot of blades and you have nothing to tank them. Like you don't have any parry, so you're getting all the blades into the face. You can have, like, you can press dwarf, but it's once per 2 minutes, right? And what after? You're just like pressing wall and kiting all the time, and your group is losing damage. On Prot Paladin, you're just like dwarf, bob, cancel over bob, bubble, 50% parry. You know, like, think very, very good for that dungeon. So I think I will rate it like higher than Brewmaster. At the same time, in my opinion, Brewmaster is a little bit harder than VDH. This is like my tier list for high keys, I think, at the moment. But this is what makes sense defensive wise and like to buff your group, utility wise for the group, etc., etc. But again, like everything can change. You know, tomorrow they will buff Boomy by like 200%. Tomorrow they will buff Frostmage by 300%, and you will just play VH again, and it will be again VH season. And like Shadow Priest will be like 500% buff, and you will just go like VDH again, Shadow Priest, Boomy, and like Mage, you know, and you will have fun again. But yeah, Warrior was not meta for many seasons. Single target is very high. In my opinion, not that squishy as Brewmaster, need less healing. You'll also see like me doing 19 Echo Down, which is like very, very high key. I think it's like first 19 timed. And we played with Rest of Shami, and Rest of Shami was almost not healing me on Prot Warrior. So, yeah. One more thing I wanted to share, it is the document that I made in terms of how many seasons different tanks were played every season, like in the keys and in the raid. And this is something that I made for people who were saying, oh no, not DH season again, you know, I don't want to play DH again, oh, this purple class, like we're playing purple class like 100%, 70% of the time every season. Why it is so good? I just wanted to share this for those people who are saying this. First of all, DH was absolutely dogshit in the raid every season, and the class is working the way that it is a lot 10k when you're pulling more mobs because of the Painbringer, because of the Painbringer stacks, because of the Fallout talent. Whenever you're hitting more mobs with your emulation aura, you're getting more souls, you're getting more healing, you're getting more damage reduction, and all this. And as you see in the raid, it was only in season 1 of Shadowlands when it was Castle Nathria, and DH was played that season only because Havoc was very, very bad. And it is the same as Brewmaster. You know, Brewmaster was played like every season in the raid almost, and it is very, very good balanced tank for the raid. And also we can say that from the War Within, all the tanks are kind of equal. Like season 2, you can see people playing Brewmaster and getting 4k. You can see Warriors playing, like also Prot Warriors playing, and they're almost 4k. Also, we saw Squish was playing Guardian Druid, and he also made almost to 4k IO, right? But they stopped playing. So I would say that all the tanks are very, very balanced every season, but there is always the tank that is slightly better and like buffing your group better or anything, right? And people who are playing MDA, TGP, high keys pushers, right? Who are making like rank 1 keys, of course they will always find the way like to make some certain tank, some certain healer, some certain DPS being better than other DPSs. But at the same time, it doesn't really matter if you're going like for 15s, even for title keys, even a little bit above title keys. We saw this season then that Monksy was playing with like Cat Feral, right? With Arms Warrior, with Outl Rock, with the Restor Shami, and with Brewmaster. Also, Yoda is playing with Holy Paladin, and they're making those classes work. So I would not say that it is mandatory to follow the meta. If you are playing the tank, the class that you like, most likely you will do better on that class than reroll into the new class, not having enough time to learn the class, and all that. At the same time, the bad part about it is that you might spend a lot of time in LFG to find the group, because people who are making their own key and inviting people in the group, they're trying to invite meta classes, right? Because most likely the meta class, the guy on the meta class will do better. The average guy who is playing the meta class will do better than the Giga Chat who is maining class that is not meta. Like, does make sense? So, for example, if there will be the choice to invite Boomy or Cat, most likely everyone will invite Boomy because Boomy is like easier rotation, right? Also Beam, also like it is kind of known that Boomy is good, and by inviting Boomy, you know that, oh man, guy will just spam Starfall, and there is nothing hard. And he will do like okay damage. And like rolling the chance that this cat will be good, like it is too high risk. And also at the same time, blaming people who are not inviting you as not meta class, it is also not that good because, like, let's be honest, if you will be making your own key and you will want to time this key, will you invite VDH or Blood Decay? Like, most likely you will invite VDH, right? Because VDH is like meta tank, right? Also like sigils, a lot of CCs, and the chance that you will invite Blood Decay that know what to do, that know when to like kite and how to tank, it is like really hard, right? And also most of the people are watching like popular streams and they're watching how they're pulling and they're kind of knowing the roads in terms of like meta classes, right? And at the same time, if you're inviting like Blood Decay, Brewmaster, you need to play around them with like different roads, and most of the people just don't want to follow this. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say and to share. And also, as you can see here, like we had like 16, 17 seasons, and DH was played only 4 out of 16 seasons, right? And if we're not counting season 4, DH was like meta every second season, right? It was like Paladin, Bear, VDH. Like these were not counting. Paladin, VDH, and here, as I was showing here, it can be any of those tanks. Like it can be legit any. It can be Paladin again. It can be VDH again. It can be something new like Prot Warrior, Brewmaster, right? Hard to say. But mainly, I made this to show to people that DH is not meta every season, and that it is not that good to like be mad on DHs. Oh, DH is meta again. Paladin is meta again. Paladin was meta kind of the same amount of seasons as VDH, but no one is saying anything about Paladin, right? So I think that's kind of it for today. I will probably also do the DPS tier list and the healer tier list. I made it last few days, but after this they completely nerfed the classes, and right now that tier list doesn't really make any sense. So I will test more keys. And in few days, I think I will make the new tier list already for DPS specs, for healer specs, maybe some combination, like what comps you can play around, like healer, tank, DPS, healer, tank, DPS, yeah. And we will see. So yeah, follow the YouTube. Don't forget to check the Twitch, testing all the tanks and different classes every day. And GG's, thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye-bye.